robust urban garlic flavor.
So it's like I said, how do things improve unless you actually get critical? And I'm going to get critical today.
You know what? Phil is right. I want DSPgaming to improve the quality of his live stream for his audience, so I'm going to get very critical on all the shenanigans that he pulls 24/7 on his daily begging streams. Let's change it from DSP begging back to the good old DSP gaming. So one of the things that I'm going to be very critical about is DSP subtly changing the stream goal. No, I'm not talking about the 300 thing. I think that was just a mistake on his part of just carrying over the stream overlays. I'm going to talk about his raised expectations for this week and why I think it is the new normal. So let's get into it, because DSP needs to be taken to task. You heard him, he wants it, for all the begging that he does. I never thought about this before, but his intro is 1 minute long. It's like we're back in 2008.
Good stuff. I hope that those who were there for Suikoden 1 come back to hang out with me, because I'm excited for this, very much, and I hope that it doesn't end up being a dead playthrough. But I think people will come by, considering they did last time. All right, so that's excellent.
Yeah, he has to tell everybody 50,000 times that he's playing this game because he's not confident in his ability to hold a stream audience. So yeah, he thinks that everybody who watched him in February is now no longer watching, even though we know he has a pretty stagnant audience.
This week, I am making a focus on Mafia the Old Country. Even though the game has turned out a dud on stream, I'm already more than halfway through it, and it seems like if I play 2 more streams, I'll probably beat it, so I want to finish that this week. Very well, those streams could be dead streams where people don't stick around or support, but I want to finish the game. Overall, I actually do like it a lot. I think that the plot is interesting. The gameplay mechanics are basic but sound. The graphics are outstanding. It's like an awesome cinematic experience that I want to finish. It just sucks that it hasn't really caught on with the audience.
Yeah, so the next time when you hear Phil say he wants to play a game but he won't finish it because it's not hitting the goal, point to Mafia and see how he reacts. I'm sure he will not take too kindly to it. So the story with Mafia, he hit the goal in the first stream, barely, because the podcast did very well. Then the second and third times it flopped, and now we are into this week where he got exactly to the tips goal, so I guess the begging worked.
How dare you? Second strike. You understand? Okay. If you're the engineer, why a different game every night again? Well, because this is a shorter week for me.
Yeah, DSP is taking an extra Phil's day off where absolutely nothing happens. And he's panicking because it's like, oh, that's an extra 300 that I'm missing out on. So I gotta really push for those double goals just in case.
I've been wanting to get actual days of rest, and I haven't had any. Like, I did a marathon of Mega Man, and then the next day I was insanely busy, and then I came back to work on Sunday. I didn't really get to recuperate, and that's what I mean. Like, having these double days off is great, so I'm happy that I'm able to do it. And thank you to those of you who support my streams so much that allow me now to take some extra days off to spend with my wife.
Yeah, well, Phil, who was the person that encouraged your fans to get him drunk on stream? Oh, wait, it was you. You've been set in your ways of doing a 6-day streaming week because you're like, guys, I really need that money. So I guess it's 5 this week, but the expectation is 1,800 at minimum. So that means the goals are really $180, even though he's not going to put that up there. And people made a big deal about the $300 thing. I think that's just a holdover from his last stream where he went over a little bit because those Friday night fights and he always hits the goals on those. But yeah, Phil, do more 5-day weeks. I'm definitely on board with that because I definitely stand to benefit a lot if you do that.
We need 8 goals between now and the end of the week to do DSP Tries It this week, but that would mean we have to hit it by the first stream on Thursday because I'm not going to order food late night. I don't eat late night meals like that, okay? So can we do it? Can we hit 8 support goals between now and the first stream on Thursday?
And he's done 4 streams. He's hit a total of 4 goals, so he needs to hit 4 in 5 streams to do DSP Tries It. He is right on track, right where he wants to be. But here's where he starts begging because he knows he has one less day to do it.
Do you want to be honest? I think it might be tough. I think it might be a tall order because, number one, people have not supported Mafia the Old Country at all. Only the first stream of Mafia hit the support goal. Since then, we've had 2 streams that did not hit a goal. And I'm doing 2 streams of Mafia this week.
He's looking into the camera like he's their daddy scolding them for not paying him what he's worth. Phil, you made the decision to play Mafia twice this week. That is on you. You know your fans don't like it and don't really want to support it either. You're just playing it because you want to. You lucked out because they wailed out on you for whatever reason. And you're gonna take it as, oh, they must love this game, so it's gonna hit the goal the second time. No, mainly the podcast helped with that, so chill begging times in Burnellville.
Will people show up and support Suikoden 2? I hope so. History says yes, but it's been months, right? So I don't know.
Yeah, he's going through a whole week audit of games he's not confident on. Phil, you don't get the reality is that most of the games, you're not hitting the goal because you're playing the game, because you suck the fun out of the games. It's whether the handful of whales that you have decide on a whim today, I'm gonna give Phil money. That's all it is. That is the game that DSP Gaming has deteriorated into because it's all about the money.
Now, what about other night streams? Sometimes we do really well, but GTA 4, for example, last week we did not hit a goal playing GTA 4. So I'm not kidding you. Out of my 10 streams this week, there's a whopping 5 streams that I don't know if they're going to hit the goal. Okay.
Yeah, we get the deer and headlights help me look as Phil doesn't understand that he's the one who picks the schedule. So he, in his 220 infinite wisdom, is like, okay, I want to play these games. I don't think they're going to hit the goal, but I'm going to beg my way right out of it. You see, when he digs himself a hole, he's just going to beg his way out of it. And most of the time, it actually works.
So I guess what I would say is, if you guys want to see DSP Tries It this week, which I certainly do,
he only wants to see it because that means he made over $1,200. That's all.
please support whatever stream you can be at.
Yeah, Daddy Phil is letting it be known. He needs that money. He really does. Listen up. You better pay him this week because he is desperate.
If we hit a goal, that's great. But if you were going to support, please support still. Let's try to hit multiple goals during the streams where we're going to get more people and more support.
Yeah, this is Phil's robust business plan. He's not going to be more entertaining because he's taking a day off. He's just going to beg harder and see where the chips lie because that is his one and only strategy about getting money.
So hopefully that'll cover the streams where likely we're not going to get much support. Okay?
Yeah, that's the plan. Pay me double just because I want to play certain games that you don't want to see or pay me for.
I think that's the only way we're going to do DSP Tries It this week, to be honest.
To be honest, why should I care if you order 2 Happy Meals this week or next week? It really makes no difference, Phil. You gotta spice it up a little. You gotta incentivize people. Just saying you want to do something does not necessarily mean they're going to be on board with that. Yeah, he really doesn't want to do DSP Tries It on Sundays. I don't know why, except I guess he thinks that he's a complete failure 220 if he doesn't do it before the weekends.
All right. So, speaking of which, let's get some support rolling. Let's get some animations with fun sound effects playing. Right? Let's go. Thank you to Michael.
I think this is the point where I should remind everybody that DSP had like 10 million views in a month back in 2011. This is how the mighty have fallen. They have fallen hard. They're out here panhandling for animations because nobody wants to talk with Phil organically. He has to push them.
Let me take a look here. I'm always skeptical when dollar tips roll in because usually they're troll tips. You're not funny. Tip the Buck says, can I be unbanned? How did you get banned this time? How did you get banned this time? So I have no idea how you got banned. Once again, here we go again. How do you keep getting banned? I don't even know. How do you even know that it was us? Are you sure that it's not YouTube again? Because your account's been banned like 10 times by YouTube.
No, Phil, you've conditioned your moderators to be overzealous and ban anything that is even constructive criticism of you. That's why this guy keeps getting banned. They found out on Kick that if you just use like the same name, his moderators will just ban a regular viewer instead. Because they aren't thinking about improving Phil's chat, they are thinking about doing what Phil wants and having nobody talk. Yeah, look at this image in front of you. Phil picked this to put on his stream slideshow. He definitely takes it uber seriously. And that's why DSP stream chat on YouTube is not fun whatsoever. Nobody wants to be there.
I mean, sheesh. At this point, it's getting ridiculous. I didn't ban you, so I would unban you, but I can't unless I have a link to your channel, and you know that. So, I know. Can we have a counter? This guy at this point Must be in the dozens. I don't even know how it happens.
Yeah, my guess is they look at the name You're Not Funny and process it as, oh, they're calling Phil not funny. We gotta ban him. Phil is not lenient whatsoever. If you make one comment that he interprets as sly, you are gone. He thinks everybody in his chat is a troll because most people there are LARPing if they're talking, seriously. And that gets you in hot water really quick. And that's why Raw Phil has like 1,000 people concurrently watching Phil's streams, because there's a bunch of people that Phil banned because he wouldn't joke around with them. Shutting down your chat and limiting discussion to yourself and the game and only taking positive notes about yourself has consequences, Phil. Nobody wants to actively engage with your content anymore. And now you are missing out because YouTube is now allowing people to aggressively monetize their live streams. That's so many viewers that you have lost because of your own incompetence about not being able to handle being an entertainer on the internet. And I'm not saying it's easy to handle all that it's thrown at you, but at the same time, if you want to make a business out of it, you gotta have thicker skin.
You know what I should do? I should just leave the tab to his page open. I'm serious. I should just leave the tab to his page open. So when he gets banned, I can just open it and unban him.
You may also have a rogue mod that is undercover, Phil. Ever thought about that?
It's like on the kick side, the McDonald's Adult Happy Meal has resoundingly won.
Yeah, because you playing with an adult Happy Meal is the most childish thing. That's why they picked it. They want the one that is you looking the most stupid. If there was an option of a Sonic hat for the other ones, that would have probably won.
There were only 23 votes. Over 100 people have voted on YouTube, and 70% have voted for the McDonald's Adult Happy Meal. I guess you guys really want the McDonald's Adult Happy Meal, huh?
He puts the one that is going to look the most ridiculous. It is really surprised when everybody wants to see that one. Maybe that should cue you into they think DSP Tries It is boring, and they need to do these little things to make it more interesting, like you looking stupid and wearing a Sonic hat. Of course, Derek heard the words adult toy in the Happy Meal and was extremely excited and used his 20 sock accounts to do 20 votes for it, but he didn't understand that it was just like a tin or something stupid like that.
You might regret it. I'm just telling you, I might really regret it, seriously, but let's do it, fine. The Adult Happy Meal for McDonald's.
Yeah, Phil thought despite offering it last week that they weren't going to bite on it because he's like, oh, this is stupid. They don't want to see me eat this. No, it's because it is stupid. That's exactly why they voted for it. Don't you get it? They don't care about you patting yourself on the back and eating fast food. They want to get some entertainment out of it. So seeing you review a stupid tin is at least something. Now you're trying to weasel your way out of doing it because you're like, I don't want to do it. I have to beg for this now. Yes, you do. If you didn't think it was going to be something you wanted to eat or do or review, then you shouldn't have put it as an option.
And how about this? I'll buy two, just like I did with the Minecraft meal. I'll buy 2 Adult Happy Meals, so that way I can have 2 toys. I'll get 1 of each.
Gets 1 Happy Meal for himself and 1 Happy Meal for Cat. And he knows that he is doing 2 of them because he's like, I gotta push for DSP Tries It so I make that money. So hey, if I do 2, it's only like an extra $25 with DoorDash included. So I get food for Cat, and it means I'll convince them to give me more money so we hit those goals that I want.
The truth is, I will eat the Quarter Pounder with cheese. I actually do like the Quarter Pounder with cheese from McDonald's.
I guess I skipped over the part where you complained about it. Oh well, I wasn't sifting through 10 minutes of food talk.
They are flavorless. The only way you get flavor out of a nugget is to dip it in a sauce. That's the only flavor you even get. They're just awful now.
Yeah, he's gonna pretend he's suffering by eating these fast food items so he can guilt you into giving him money.
Now, because I'm doing this for you, because you voted for the adult meal, all right? You better support these streams. We got to make this happen by the end of this week. The sooner the better. Right now, if we hit 8 goals during this stream while I'm playing Battlefield 6, I will order 2 adult Happy Meals from McDonald's on this stream, and we will eat them. All right?
Obviously, he did not raise $1,200 in one stream. That isn't a marathon. He didn't even raise 1, which was shocking, but also funny because it's always funny when it doesn't happen. At this point, Phil, you're not even begging. You're just demanding for money, and it didn't work out, so I guess you got to mix it up somewhat.
You want to know the truth? I'm probably one of the best overall gamers in the country.
But we got to get that support going now. So let's go. Let's hit our first goal right now. All right, let's get our first gifted sub of the week. We have reset. It's Sunday. The leaderboard is reset. Let's get our first gifted sub of the week right now. Let's get just one. Someone drop one sub over on Kick right now. We already have our first gifted membership. We have 2 super chats. All right, let's get a tip higher than $1 right now. Let's go.
And guess what? He did get higher than $1. He got $1.50, and that was it for the entire stream. It's good times in Brunelville right now.
Come on. Maybe, okay, hold on. Maybe I wasn't loud enough or clear enough, all right? Ready? Let's get our first gifted sub right now. Cool. But what about that sub? I'm still waiting. Let's get our first sub right now. As in, at this moment, not later. Oh, come on. I said, let's get someone to tip more than $1. Someone tipped $1.01. You know what? I'm not even gonna put your name on the leaderboard. How about that? I'm just gonna add that to the total because you know what? That's just disrespectful. Absolutely unacceptable behavior. $1.01. You can keep your penny, all right? Keep your little Lincoln coin. I don't need that. Pshaw, okay? Anyway. So no one's playing the game? No one's playing the top beat the tip game? Why not? Come on, it's just 501 to start. Do it.
Yeah, don't give any money to Phil if you actually want your contributions to be valued, because that's how he treats you. What he doesn't understand, if he got a bunch of people tipping like 102, 103, 104 cents, 105 cents, he'd actually be pulling in some money eventually. He just doesn't want to wait. He wants the immediate satisfaction of a $100 whale tip immediately because he wants to feel valued. So if you give him under $5, he doesn't value you because he thinks you don't value him.
McDonald's adult Happy Meal it is. Boy, can't you tell how excited I am for this? I am just so pumped for the McDonald's adult Happy Meal, trying this McDonald land shake that looks like, you know, someone stepped on a clown and turned it into a pile of mush. I'm sure it tastes like that too. It probably tastes like sweaty gym socks.
You have nobody to blame but yourself, Phil, because you were the one who put it on the menu.
Oh, does it say, did my King's tax say out of 300? That's my fault. Let me fix that. That's a typo. The goal is still 150. My fault, everybody. The goal is still 150. That was because Friday night we hit the goal and I, increased it in case we were going to do a second level. Okay.
And here, I trust Phil. And you're like saying, are you crazy? He's trying to pull a fast one. No, he's not. He's just so incompetent that he forgot to change it. It's not a huge deal. He was not trying to get people to give him $300 immediately because he knows if he set it to $300, nobody would support because they're like, we're $300 away from a goal. Isn't it usually 150? So it's like, why contribute if you want to see the goal hit if you're so far away?
So let's get going. Let's hit that goal on this stream. And like I said, what we're going to need to do, honestly, to make it happen this week, if you want the McDonald's Adult Happy Meal, we're going to have some streams where I think we're going to have to double up.
So what's the rationale for this? So instead of doing 11 streams, including his last day stream before his day off, he's doing 9 this week. He needs to hit 8 goals, so he can only afford to miss 1 goal. That's why he wants double goals, because he's seen some of the performances of his games, and he's getting a little nervous. So that's why he is immediately pushing, hey, we need to do the double goal. Not only to do DSP Tries It, but to make up for that extra day that he's taking off. He doesn't really want 1,500 this week, he wants 1,800. But he's not going to set the goal to 180 per stream. He's just going to try and convince you to hit that double goal or get close as possible to make up for that lost day. So while the goal says 150, it really is 180 because he wants the same amount of money for less work.
Because I guarantee you, when I play Mafia, probably not going to do so well.
And this pity begging worked because he hit the goal on Mafia on Monday.
Suikoden 2, it's a question mark now. I do hope we get the audience back for when I played Suikoden 1. Because they were very supportive. That doesn't necessarily mean they're going to come back for the sequel. You know, they have to know, first of all, those people have to even know I'm playing it. I hope they get the word. I've been talking about it. It's on the schedule now. Okay.
Oh, Phil, you don't know that your whales are the ones who you are always talking to? They know you're playing the game, Phil. I assure you. You just have to tell them 20,000 more times because you're very anxious about it. I'm sure you will hit a double goal today on that stream. That is my prediction. I predict that, and then on Minecraft, you are going to struggle to hit the goal until the last minute, and then Only Ice Coffee will bail you out again. And no, I don't have the script that Phil orchestrates in a secret Discord chat or whatever. I just follow the patterns, and that's just my inference based on that.
And even like tonight on the late stream, I'm playing GTA 4, and I'm nervous because that also hasn't hit support goals, right?
Yeah, GTA 4 goes up and down, so one stream it hits a goal, the other stream it doesn't. But DSP got blessed by Iron Dent Sakai, or a troll posing as him, and they gifted a ton of subs. Yeah, you felt it feel real good there by giving him a lot of money. What a genius. He's either insanely wealthy or insanely stupid or both.
So, if you want to see this adult Happy Meal, we got to make it happen. All right?
Phil, that would actually have some real weight to it if you had a deadline by the end of the week. Obviously, I don't think you're watching these videos, so you won't get that idea. But otherwise, there's no pressure because you could just do it on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and so on and so forth. It's not a huge deal. You're making a pressure buy when it absolutely has no deadline or timeline whatsoever.
Like literally right now, I probably could have talked about any other topic for the last half hour, and I would have made money. But instead, I talked about old school Street Fighter because I wanted to on my own show. And what are you going to do? I guess it's the only way. Sometimes you got to talk about stuff and stick up for what you feel is right or something that's a valid topic rather than worrying about printing money every moment.
No, Phil, you're always worried about the money. You just like the sound of yourself talking and filling dead air. For once, there wasn't a lot of dead air. I didn't sit through it. I skipped through it. But good for you for actually doing a podcast.
Well, that segment's done, so now it's time to print some money. So, ladies and gentlemen, please support the stream right now.
Yeah, he stopped putting out actual content. He's back to just begging for money. And I'm sure he didn't even clip that segment and put it up on his channel, which would have gotten more views than this unedited podcast. Yep, Mr. 220 did it again. He just titled the video that instead of taking out that 30-minute segment. If you took out the 30-minute segment, Phil, you'd have gotten more than 550 views and more watch time. I'm sorry, what you are doing is completely lazy and idiotic, and it even takes you more time than just going on YouTube editor. Snip here, snip there, new video, done. You are so stubborn that you are stupidly destroying any potential your channel has. Because you're so egotistical that you think everything you put up there is gold. It's not, Phil. Unless there is like behind the scenes discourse between you and your whales where they expect this type of videos to be put out daily and they pay you handsomely for it, there is absolutely no reason to do it. It's completely destructive and stupid and a good way to get 0 views on any video you put out. So even when you have the time to actually put up a video that will get views, it will be like an anchor sinking to the bottom of the ocean because all those other videos that are garbage pull it down. He fundamentally does not understand that those videos performing so poorly drags down the potential that his live streams have to get more viewers. I think he just looks at the daily raw total instead of the performance of the individual videos. He's like, this is good. I'm posted like 10 videos a day and I got 5,000 views. He doesn't understand that if he just, for instance, took that 30-minute segment about him complaining about fighting games, he would have gotten more views than all those garbage pieces of his streams that he puts up. But that is the way that he got success on YouTube. So he thinks in his mind that if he does it this way, this is the way that people do it nowadays, and this is how he can get some momentum. And I also think part of the problem is he probably sees those views and is like, this is just gravy. I'm just getting this stuff for nothing, so I'll just mass upload. Who cares? He would literally get more views and watch time just leaving his live streams up. Seriously.
Let's get some support rolling in. And Bam Bam, who did a $4.99 super chat and said, there's a homeless man with a starving child, but clearly you need this more than that. Well,
that made me chuckle. That is basically what Phil's mentality is every single day.
Doesn't really matter because you gave it to me. So it doesn't matter if they need it or not. You gave it to me. That was your choice. You do what you want with your money. You remember that. It's your power to do that, right? There you go.
but Phil will use his hypnosis powers to get as much of your money as he possibly can. I can't even keep a straight face by saying this. There's like a troll legend of a fan of Phil's who went bankrupt multiple times because he thought Phil really needed that money. Of course, I haven't verified if that's true or not, but it is certainly a story.
Red Eyes Black Dragon did a $5 super chat and says,
I don't want to be mean or anything, but this takes me back to my childhood of watching Yu-Gi-Oh! And it makes me wonder if this particular viewer is all there. I kind of get Chris Chan childhood vibes from that.
all right. So if a Cowboy fan did a $1.50 tip, that makes him the top tipper of the day so far.
Yeah, Phil is so disappointed that somebody only beat the tip by 50 cents. And he was even more disappointed when he found out that was the only other tip he was getting this stream.
I want to express some frustration. I didn't break any rules, but I seem to be, I get banned in a couple different channels. I think it would have been more professional and mature if they gave me an explanation on what I've done. Now, how that relates to you, would you or your mods give me a warning or explanation if something happens to me? In reality, almost no one ever gets banned unless they're outright breaking the rules on purpose. Seriously, like,
Yeah, you only get the courtesy of a warning if you give Phil $20+ in a stream, essentially. The rules basically are, you can only talk about Phil in the game, you must talk about Phil in a positive light, you cannot bring up any of the funny detractor memes, and you can't call Phil an e-beggar, or a liar, or a gaslighter. So, if you do any one of those things, you're gonna get banned immediately, no warning. Goodbye, go to Raw Phil and have a good time.
it's truthful that my trollish idiots who hate me will say that, Phil's chat is like mods and stuff. It couldn't be further from the truth. Moderation in both of my channels is a rare thing. It only happens if someone is outright going out of their way to break the rules. Like, they make a name that's outright offensive, right? They're outright saying something that they know is a troll meme that has been repeated a zillion times.
Phil, whatever fairy tale land you live in, people do not moderate as much as you moderate.
In general, just coming in here, almost no one gets banned at all these days.
Phil, you can't go a day without streaming without banning somebody. Even on your off days, you're gonna ban people on Kick.
It's hilarious. The meme that they make is Phil has so many accounts banned on Kick. Yes, and the account names are like things that are insulting other viewers, which is against the rules. It's obvious. Just look at the names and you can figure out why the account got banned right away.
Now I got an idea to make a video of Phil's bans and audit it and see if it's justified just kicking them out from their name alone.
There's actually people who sit around here making 50 accounts a day, and then they come into the chat, say one word, and get banned because their name is offensive. You know, what did you think would happen? But in general, people don't usually get banned, all right?
Unless your name is You're Not Funny, because the moderators are taking the pronoun you're, meaning Phil.
So we have a little bit of time left. Now that I'm done ranting about classic Street Fighter sucking because Capcom doesn't care, let's do some Q&A and let's get some support, all right? Let's get some support right now. Because again, if we're going to do DSP Tries It, the adult Happy Meal from McDonald's, we need to hit 8 goals by the end of this week. There's 10 streams. Can we hit 8 goals in 10 streams? Actually, it's 9 because that last stream is Thursday night, and I'm not going to do DSP Tries It on a late stream. So we have to do it in 9 streams. So let's get some support rolling right now. Let's get to $50 of support before the podcast ends. Let's do it. And then we have 100 to hit while I'm playing Battlefield.
And if you call Phil out for eBegging right here, he will ban you. Oh, he doesn't over-moderate? No way. Phil rarely bans anybody.
Here's the thing. When I was playing Battlefield on Thursday, people loved it, but I'm not talking with you guys because I got to play the game, and then no one was contributing, and then I mentioned it near the end, and then a whole bunch of people contributed, and we hit the goal. Let's not do that. Let's hit the goal right away so that we can just focus on Battlefield. All right?
Yeah, it makes Phil worse at the game if he hasn't hit the tips goal because he starts panicking and he loses focus on the gameplay. So we need you to give him money so he can have a chill, fun time learning the game. Do you see how absurd this all is?
Used over and over and over. Like, oh my God. Why is it the same thing so much? Like, why did they do that?
Yeah, Phil criticizes the game for doing the same thing over and over and over again, but he doesn't appreciate the irony that he e-begs over and over and over again. You can't have it both ways, Phil. If you give it, you gotta take it.
All right, guys. We're nearing the end of the show. Let's get some support. We have no support from Kick this morning. 0. We gotta hit this goal today for sure. All right, if we want to get momentum and we want to do this DSP Tries It this week, we need to hit a goal on this very stream. We need support. So for God's sakes, let's get our first sub of the week right now over on Kick. Let's get one sub right now from Kick.
Yeah, you heard Phil. God wants you to support DSP Gaming and all its affiliate channels. Phil should just quit gaming and become a televangelist. He'd make more money.
Can we get our tip bigger than $1.50 this morning? Please. I would like to. The thing is, momentum continues when a few people start, contributing back to back. And people were doing that, but it was during my CVS segment. So I didn't shout it out immediately. And now the momentum is gone. The thing is, sometimes you just got to do what's best for your topic. And my topic needed to be talked about without interruption, so I could get through everything I had to say.
And Phil thought it was so important to say it that he left it in an hour-long podcast instead of leaving that segment on DSP Reacts or something. Genius move, Phil. He's just coping and hoping and begging that his begging works out. That's what he's doing. This is what this man lives for, the hype of whether he hits the tips goal or not. He's a gambler. This is the game to see if Phil gets enough money.
I guess we're done. No one's tagging me anymore. I guess we've talked about all the topics people wanted to talk about.
All right, that was a complete mess. We got to do a complete overhaul of this channel. There's way too much gaslighting. There's way too much guilt tripping. There's way too much eBegging, way too much dead air. And it's just not engaging, positive, meaningful, chill, or whatever buzzword Phil wants to say about it. He wants it to be about games, but it's not about the games. The games are just fluff. The reality is his streams are all about money. That's not going to bring people in. That's just going to attract trolls. And that's why Phil has all of these issues, because he doesn't want to be entertaining. He just wants to sit and panhandle for money. And that's the reality. I've been saying it all the time. But if you tell Phil that, he won't take that as constructive criticism. He will take that as you being a troll or a detractor or somebody who wants to destroy him or something. No, Phil. A lot of the stuff I say, if you took my advice, you'd actually do better on your streams and your channel would improve. But you've been so set in your ways for so long that you are actively sabotaging yourself. DSP Gaming is the largest detractor channel because you are so full of yourself that you won't take the steps that you need to do that will help improve your channel. You just want to do the easy, lazy things that you think will make you a quick buck. And in the long run, that doesn't help you out. That doesn't grow your channel. And that is why, since the Kino arc where you thought you had a robust resurgence, you are falling rapidly. The support may not be falling off as steeply, but if one of those whales that you have suddenly disappears because they get bored or something, you are in big, big trouble. And you will have nothing to support you after that because you have no plan B. Alright, thank you everybody for sticking with me in this critical analysis of this 220 man and his live stream shenanigans, and I hope you will enjoy. Like, comment, and I will see you all next time. Adios.